Ronin or Dragon's Dogma 2. So I've put a lot of thought into this. I've listened to your feedback, and based on my thoughts and your feedback, I've made a decision. And I made a decision that I'm going to announce right now. So if you're ready for the decision, listen up. And if you're not ready for the decision, then what I need you to do is take your fingers and stick them into your ears like this and go for about 5 minutes when I explain my decision, okay? Oh, wait. Oh, you wanted my decision now? You wanted to hear it? Oh, okay. So my decision is that I am going to, this Friday, I'm going to begin playing Pal World full-time. I've decided to drop all my current playthroughs and only play Pal World. I think now is the exact right time to do it while it's still hot. No, I just think it's funny that, like, a lot of these games now, what you see is they get momentary popularity, and then within a few weeks, they're just not popular anymore. Like, no one's talking about Pal World. It's as if the game never existed. But remember, it was the hottest game, the biggest selling game for some time there, right? So it was pretty crazy in that regard that it was humongous, and then no one talks about it. But a lot of games seem to be like this these days. Anyway, no. We've thought about it together. Like, you gave me your feedback this week. I thought about it, and I've decided that starting this Friday, the new game that I will start playing is Dragon's Dogma 2. And there's a few reasons for this. Reason number one, it's the game that I'm most interested in and already wanted to play before this whole idea of RPG overload affected the channel, okay? It's just the game that I'm more interested in, that I think is going to be the better option. I think it's going to have more eyes on it. More people will be interested in that right now. So that's number one. Number two, you guys gave me feedback this week, and literally about 80% of the people who did respond said play Dragon's Dogma 2. There are still some people who want to see Rise of the Ronin, but for the most part, people are like, yeah, I think Dragon's Dogma is going to be the bigger game. I'm more interested in that. And the thing is, being that it's going to be an RPG where you make your own pawn team, and you can play it a little bit differently than others, I think that playthrough will be more interesting to watch as opposed to Rise of the Ronin. You know, a lot of people might be playing Dragon's Dogma 2 and say, all right, well, I'm curious how this person's going to handle that, you know? Kind of like Elden Ring, where a lot of people wanted to see in the early game, well, how did that person build their character? How did that person tackle those challenges early on as opposed to my playthrough? I think people will want to see that with Dragon's Dogma 2, okay? So that's what I'm going with. Now, I just want to say this up front. This doesn't mean that I'm not ever playing Rise of the Ronin. It just means as of right now, I'm not playing Rise of the Ronin. It may happen in the future. We may have time for it later. It might be something people want after it comes out. Maybe it'll grow in popularity and people will be like, oh, how dare you? So, yes, I will possibly play Rise of the Ronin. It's not off the table. It's just not going to be played immediately. Fair enough. Now, I want to remind you guys something. Okay? This is important. Just because the game comes out Friday and I am going to be playing Dragon's Dogma 2 all day Friday, it does not mean that I'm playing it nonstop. In fact, it's going on hiatus immediately. Because if you remember, RPG overload, right? I cannot be playing all these RPGs at once. I absolutely have to put my foot down. And I have to play Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth and finish them. I have to do this, okay? It has to be finished. So we will cover it for launch day, for that launch day hype, and to get a great taste of what the game will be. And then we got to wait about another week to finish these games. Once these games are wrapped up, then I will go wholeheartedly, full force push into Dragon's Dogma 2, and I'm excited for it. Remember, way back in the day, Dragon's Dogma 1 was actually one of the games that I loved. And honestly, I'll be honest, my audience didn't like it as much. You know, I was an on-demand content creator back then. I did not live stream. I was still using my camera to capture from my TV back in Connecticut. And I loved the game. I found its open world formula to be refreshing and interesting. I liked the grinding style where you could jump on the monsters and find their weak points, have your pawns attack, and use strategy to win, and you grind and you get levels and items and things. I really enjoyed it. And I was always hoping that eventually they would actually make a sequel. So I'm happy that they have. I hope that it's good. You know, I don't know how good it will be. I guess we'll find out. But I can't just go wholeheartedly into it when I have these lingering, insanely long playing throughs, right? So we absolutely have to do it. Okay, we have to. So I hope that you guys are understanding, right? Wouldn't you rather have me finish these games that have been going on for 2, 3, 4 months so we can focus fully on Dragon's Dogma 2 rather than having me play Dragon's Dogma 2 twice a week and balance it with a million other games that no one's asking for? I think it makes sense, right? Plus, we are heading into the exciting end game of both games now, and people want to see them end and not linger. So I think that we're making the right decision here, okay? So it is official. My wife and I are going to do some fun stuff with Dragon's Dogma 2 on our day off. I'll talk about that in a little bit because we're going to get to the schedule, okay? Sweet. All right, so